Hey friend, you don't need an office space or full-time employees to run a profitable photography business out of your home. But you do need to be organized, efficient, and have a strong marketing strategy. With a little bit of planning and some elbow grease, it is possible to build a successful photography business from the comfort of your own home. Hey, comment below if you're already running your photography business from home. I'd like to hear from you. Now let's grab a hot cup of chai and get started. Hey, I'm Sarah Petty, and this channel is for photography business owners to learn how to build a thriving photography business and still be there for your family. You shouldn't have to pick. Look, if this is a dream of yours, make sure to snap the subscribe button and click the bell notifications to stay on top of the best business photography content on YouTube. Okay, when it comes to running your photography business from home, let's talk about the pros and the cons. First, let's talk about the pros. First of all, obviously, it's generally more cost effective than going out there and committing to a lease and renting a studio or building a custom studio. Even renting a studio typically has costs like utilities, rent, employees if you need to have it staffed. Sometimes CAM, which is the common area maintenance, is something you have to pay monthly, which I didn't realize until my second studio that was a thing. And so all of those things add up every month. So if you can stay at home and build a space to make your photography studio in the winter especially, that is so powerful. You'll also have so much more control over your schedule because you're not traveling to and from, which can be a major plus if you have little ones at home or if you have other commitments that make working from 9 to 5 hours impractical. Especially if you have a job during the day and you want to grab a session in an evening or on a Saturday morning, you can easily do that when you're photographing in your own home. And also working from home, it can help you create a more relaxed, intimate, creative atmosphere for your clients. I remember in my first studio, I literally had nothing. It was cement walls, it wasn't homey, it wasn't like my client's home. I worked overtime to make it homey, but you already have that in your home. If you get an external studio, whether you rent or build or buy or whatever, you've got to understand your numbers. You need to understand cash flow and projections and have the confidence to know that you can pay those bills. So I want you to think about that and decide, oh my gosh, if I keep it in my home, I can invest my time and money in learning how to run this profitable business without the pressure of having that mortgage every month, because it's a big deal. When you get that mortgage, you've got to know how to make that money every single month, which we can teach you to do it really fast, but you got to learn that first. Now let's talk about the cons of running a photography business from home. I did it for a little bit, and look, it can be difficult to create those boundaries between work and personal space because you're never leaving, closing the door, and driving home, right? You're turning around and there's the mess, there's the dinner dishes. You turn the other way and there's the pile of invoices and things you need to work on. So you're living in the middle of all of those, and that can be tough. I know it can also be tough to create a professional image when people come to your home. If the cat and the dog and the kids have trashed the house, it can definitely be challenging. So maybe you can dedicate an area or a room or a day of the week or a couple days of the week where you make sure you have time to tidy things up before clients come. The other con is that you might miss out on the social interaction that comes with working in a retail space, having that studio space around other business owners. I think there's sort of a respect that people give to you as well when you have an actual studio outside your home, which does create value, but that's the thing. I see a lot of people wanting to get the studio to create the value, but they don't have the rest of the things right, and it can put your family in a lot of jeopardy financially, in a stress way, can put pressure on your marriage. That's why I think staying at home as long as you can is such a great option. The next step is to define your target audience. Are you photographing newborn babies, toddlers, families, high school seniors, pets, business portraits, boudoir, equine, documentary style? A lot of different niches that you can be in. And once you've identified your niche, you can begin to build a portfolio and marketing materials that appeal to that specific target market. This is what you're going to need to do, whether you have a studio or not. And I always have people ask me, well, Sarah, can I charge boutique prices? Can I be a boutique photographer if I don't have a studio? Meaning, I'm either photographing outdoors only, I meet people at a coffee shop to show them images, or maybe they come to my home some. And I tell them, yes, 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 absolutely. If you have a system and a process that's created to thrill your clients, it is not about having a studio. Now, if you do go down the route of creating a home studio, let's talk about what that takes. First off, you don't need a lot of space to create a professional looking home studio, but you do need enough space to photograph comfortably. I've had to stand 2 rooms away, sometimes like in a bathroom, to get the image that I want. I have students who have moved furniture to completely make their living room their sort of camera room, and then they put it all back after. What are you willing to do to go for your dream? Make sure you have an area where you can move back far enough so that you can use a longer lens to get the look that you want. You want to have places to store your gear, because if you have little kids, you don't want them having access to your equipment. I like to have it up high where little hands can't get to, or they don't want to climb up and try to get to, which can be dangerous as well. You want to have walls to showcase your product samples so that they can see that you're practicing what you preach. If you're bringing them to your home, I would hope that you have large wall portraits of your kids, of your family, of your pets, beautifully displayed throughout your home. And you don't need a lot of them. Fewer, bigger. And you might want to write this down. If you want to sell big, you've got to show big. You've also got to have a desk area with a computer where you can have your paperwork, where you can do your retouching, where you have good light, where you have the space to house all of the things that you need to have to run your business. You want to have a room that has plenty of natural light. Look for space in your home that has plenty of natural light, because then you can use one reflector and you can create images like this that don't need fancy lights. You can even invest in a small kit that has maybe 2 or 3 lights with umbrellas so you can play with bouncing the light around. But really, I prefer beautiful natural light to studio lights. That's just my personal preference. So if you are going to play with lights and learn that, make sure you have enough space, because backdrops, light stands, reflectors, all of those things take a lot of space. And remember, things like props and chairs and all of the other equipment that you might need in your home, which is what's kind of nice about your home, is you can go and grab a chair, or you might have a sofa handy that you can pose people on, and you don't have to buy a whole second set for your studio if you have a studio outside your home. So that's kind of cool. I think too, in your home, if you can find a room that has hardwood floors, because they clean up so much easier if you have a messy session, if you have an accident with a pet, or who knows, we've had all kinds of things happen in our camera room. So it's so much easier to clean up if there's a hardwood floor, and then we can change the rugs to sort of customize the session. And look, I've had students convert basements, garages, all kinds of rooms to their home studio. So don't tell yourself you don't have enough space, because there are so many possibilities, especially in a garage where you have this beautiful light coming in and you hang a backdrop. People have no idea what's behind that beautiful backdrop, and you have that beautiful light coming in. Other than in the winter where it can get a little tricky, it still could be a cool option in the nicer weather. Hey, if you're finding what I'm sharing here helpful, hit the like button so I know to make more videos like this, because I remember how hard it was to be all by myself trying to figure this out. Now let's talk about getting organized. It's so important to have systems in place to keep track of all the things, your bookings, your invoices, your paperwork. So investing in a good organizational system will save you time in the long run. And it doesn't even have to cost you a ton of money, But I believe that when you have systems, you can grow faster and you can run faster. And we know that time goes so fast. You wouldn't believe how many people don't get those systems and they try to scale, and that's when they're losing images and they're messing things up and they're creating problems because they didn't take the time to create a good organizational system. It definitely will save you time in the long run, and we know time goes so fast. So let's get it right from the beginning, and then we can add clients and grow so much more quickly. I think you might consider going paperless too, because that's going to help you reduce physical clutter and you can have everything you need on your laptop. And the biggest benefit of having systems in place is it helps you run your business more efficiently and have more time to focus on what you love to do, which is creating beautiful images. Also, whether you have a home studio or a retail studio, networking. Networking is essential to building your business. By connecting with other business owners and other people in your market, you can open up so many opportunities for yourself. And there are plenty of ways to network. There are online communities and forums and great places that you can meet and connect people through online platforms. That's what's great about social media, is you can see who your friends are friends with that maybe you've been wanting to meet, maybe you've been wanting to partner with. People who share your interests, people who are also running a business and share your target audience. Meetups and local events are also excellent networking opportunities because they give you a chance to meet potential clients and business owners in person. So if you're serious about trying to build your photography business, don't be afraid to reach out and connect with others. It's so important. So look, it is totally possible to build a successful photography business from the comfort of your own home. And remember, don't forget to lay out the pros and cons of running a studio from home versus renting a studio location. Just make sure once you make the leap to a studio location, you understand your numbers and you know how to create profit in a photography business. That's gross sales, gross profit, cost of sales, expenses, right? Fixed and variable expenses, which is what makes up your net profit. Build it and they will come. It doesn't work anymore. So figure out what makes sense for you and your family. And once you figure out where you want to run your business, ensure you know what type of clients you want to work with. I believe the right way to do it is getting clear on your ideal client right up front. You don't have to say, oh, well, I'm a home-based business, I'm going to attract the freeple, cheaple people with discounts. And then when I get a studio, charge more. That doesn't work. I tried it. It doesn't work because you're not going to stay in business because you're not going to have any money to ever get this studio. So getting clear on your ideal client when you're home-based, it will stop you from saying yes to sessions you don't want to take who are cheap and low priced if you know maybe that you do want an external studio someday. Keep the prize in mind. And again, if you decide to go with that home-based studio or retail studio, make sure you have that super keen understanding of the tools and resources you'll need, especially your organizational tools. And lastly, don't forget to network. You've built this wonderful space to take photos. Now it's time to get people in the door and start making money. I hope these tips were helpful because they've made such a huge impact in my own business and the business of thousands of students that we've taught this model to. If you're ready to be part of a community of boutique photographers who value family first, growing a business and encouraging one another, come join our free Facebook group. I'll stick the link in the description below. And look, thanks for watching and subscribing to our channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to right here so you can get more content to help you grow your photography business. And if you love this video, click here to get more actionable steps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.